This is Jennifer's Day with Coloring Bliss, and welcome to our weekly coloring event. Sorry, I was picking a color and I got a little sidetracked there for a minute. This is part 2 of our weekly live event, and I am having a lot of fun here. I'm coloring with the Cali Art markers. Let me show you what I'm doing here. I just colored the tip of this leaf green, and I am going to go over the whole thing now with this orange to kind of bring it back together and tone that green down. I'm having so much fun with this color palette, this color scheme that we chose, and I was trying to stay in a more primary color place, but I just can't do it because I love my tertiary colors so much. I always end up mixing them and going to a more tertiary place, a place of toned down colors, especially for autumn though. I think it makes a lot of sense. Maybe if we were coloring for something bright colored, it would make more sense to stay with a really vivid orange, but here we're doing autumn colors and it makes a lot of sense to have the colors be much more toned down. I'm going to add a little bit more green on the veining here. Anyway, what we're doing today is talking about color theory and how to use a color wheel and some basic color theory ideas to help you pick your colors. And we're using autumn as our inspiration because my husband and I during Labor Day went for a drive up a beautiful canyon here close to our home, and the leaves are already changing. I believe it's the scrub oak trees that were changing, not the quaking aspen yet, just the scrub oaks. And it was so beautiful and so unexpected to see them changing already, and it has put me into an autumn mindset already. And so that's what we're doing. We're coloring. This still needs to be blended out a bit better, looking a little bit ragged up here. Let's add a little darker orange. And anyway, I just showed when we were over on Facebook a color scheme photo that I did, I think it was last year, of a leaf. It was kind of like this where it had green on the tips and then these awesome hues of orange and red in it. So I was kind of trying to do that on that leaf. So what I'm going to do is catch you guys up here on YouTube of why we've picked the colors we've picked, my plan for this page, and the different coloring pages you can come and download. I'm so excited to have all of you here. I'm here with my cute little dog, Rose. Hey, Rose, you want to say hi? You want to say hi? Say hi. She's like, no, I'm really comfortable. She's kind of leaning up against my Cali Art markers. We're using the Cali Art markers today, so that's why that case is right there. And I think she's kind of digging it. That's like just right there. So I'm here with Steve. You want to say hi, Steve? Sure.
Hi.
And he has made magic happen with our software, so we can share with you a really short clip of the ride we took up. Is it Butterfield Canyon?
Yep. It's
kind of close here to where we live, and like I said, we went up this canyon. I've been wanting to go for a ride up this canyon because it's really steep. Actually, what happened was it was the ride down the other side was
that was crazy,
really steep, and but the ride up, the road itself was so narrow that there were times where, luckily, we were on the driving up, we were on the mountain side, not the cliff side. So we were the ones that were like hugging the mountain while the poor truck or whoever was like on the cliff edge trying to pass us. And I was just like, I'm over as far as I can, and everybody had their windows down, and I'm like, hi to the guy as he's like trying to drive past me and trying not to fall off the cliff. And I mean, there were parts that was like that, because we're in our minivan, and then they're in these big old American trucks with the big flags flying because it's Labor Day and everybody's just flying the flag. It was really fun. But it was stunning. The view was stunning. Steve, do you want to grab a picture for us?
Sure.
He was reading the comments. Anyway, I'll put it here while you get the footage ready for us. So there was one part where there was no other cars around, so I stopped and I grabbed Steve's phone and kind of leaned out the window and took a picture. So we'll put that picture up here for you to see. That's the view we saw. So that's the scrub oak right there that was turning very unexpectedly on those beautiful autumn colors. You can see the quaking aspen and the pine in the background going up the mountainside, and the gorgeous blue sky, which was also unexpected because we've been surrounded by smoke from all the wildfires for the last couple months. And you can see the sketchy road there with all the gravel and everything, but oh my goodness, so stunning. And now Steve's loading up a little bit of video footage so you can see off the edge of this really sketchy road and down into the valley where we live. It's so beautiful. Ever so often you can see the fall foliage, but for the most part, that's the view that we were seeing as we were driving up this really sketchy, beautiful drive that we got to do on Labor Day. It was so much fun. And like I said, the drive down was also scary because it's on the other side of the mountain, not paved, all dirt roads, all switchbacks, all narrow, in our little minivan, which is not four-wheel drive. It was quite an adventure. We always take our minivan in the most unexpected, strange places, don't we, Steve?
Yeah, we do.
We really need a four-wheel drive car. That will happen soon enough, I hope. Someday we'll have a four-wheel drive so we can actually feel more confident going up mountains like that. Anyway, it was a beautiful drive. It inspired me, made me want to color in all autumn colors. I'm wearing autumn colors because I'm just in an autumn mood now. So that's what we're doing. We're coloring in autumn colors. I even drew an autumn page because I was so inspired by it. So this is a brand new coloring page, finished it today, and it's available for all my premium members to come and download. Remember, premium membership is just $5 and you can cancel anytime you want, and as a premium member you have access for an entire month to the full library. As the premium library now is over 450 coloring pages and tools, all kinds of stuff, including the color wheel tool that we've been using for the last hour to help us pick the color scheme that we're using. I'm going to talk a little bit about this here in this hour, but if you want the full lowdown on this tool and how amazing it is, the power of it, all the different wheels it comes with, and how it can help you pick colors, go watch the first hour. It's over on my Facebook page. A link to that Facebook page is in the video description. It will take you on over there. You can watch the full hour, how I used it, how we can turn it and see all the different color schemes, and how just one turn of the wheel can give you a totally different feel, but the same types of colors. It's just amazing. I love this tool. I'm really, really proud of this tool and how much knowledge it can give you and how it can help you. So I really highly recommend this. In my opinion, this is worth the $5 of premium membership easily, just this one tool. So even if you don't download a single coloring page, this is worth the premium membership. Okay, as a free member though, come on over to my website and become a free member, because I've got an autumn coloring page for you so you can get in the autumn coloring mood as well. So come and download this. This is a limited time coloring page, only be available for about a week. So come and download this one and fill it with your own autumn colors. And then also I wanted to make a mention of a collaboration I'm doing with A Colorful Life. There is a link to A Colorful Life's Facebook group. She also has an amazing YouTube channel. We're doing a collaboration next Wednesday. Together we're going to do a live color along. Hopefully the tech will work. Steve's my tech man. Oh, as I knock around the camera. Steve is my tech man, and I think he has figured out how to make it work so Anne and I can virtually color together.
Hopefully. I was noticing when I was playing the video that it was really choppy. So it may be a little choppy on her end. We'll see.
We'll see if we can make it work. If we can, it'll be awesome. If not, we'll still color. We're going to color this one right here. I made this in honor of Anne and her website. They are the fruit bats over there in their coloring group. And so I designed this page for her and for her community, and it's also available to my community as well. Right now it's only available if you go and download it through her Facebook group. So go join her Facebook group. It's an awesome community. So follow the link.
Yep, in the description.
In the description. Over to her Facebook group. You just join her group, and then it's a free download over there, and you've got it. And you can be ready, and you can color along with us next Wednesday, or color it ahead of time, or color it multiple times, or whatever you want to do. Heads up, though, I have been put on call for jury duty next week. So there is a slight chance that next week will have to be rescheduled. If so, we will let you know when, where, how, what, and all that good stuff of when we'll get together and color again if I get called up for jury duty. So if I do get called up for jury duty, I will be bringing art supplies with me and sitting waiting for my turn, drawing, coloring, whatever they'll let me bring in.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll let you bring your big bag with all your...
giant bag. They said on the thing, it's like airport security. Be aware, is what they said. So I think they're implying don't bring a giant bag full of mineral spirits and blending solutions and 5 different kinds of coloring tools. I think I'm going to have to simplify.
I think so.
Anyway, so that's what's going on. I think we've got all the links, everything caught up here. We are using the CaliArt markers. We just checked, and the price is lower than the last time I looked. These CaliArt markers are only $40 for the full 100 set, which is awesome. So if you're looking for some decent alcohol markers, I am impressed with the CaliArt markers. There's a full review here on my YouTube channel if you want to go check on all the details of the CaliArt markers. I was on my Instagram before I went live on Facebook, and they asked me to color with the CaliArts. So that's why we're using the CaliArts today. And we're talking about how to use a color scheme or a color wheel to pick your colors. So if this is something that's interesting to you, that you like this kind of content, make sure you hit like, make sure you've subscribed, you've hit the little bell, and make sure you share this with someone that you think would also like this kind of content, so we can get this channel to grow even more and I can keep bringing this kind of content to you. So Steve is watching your comments, so make sure you ask your questions. And
we got a lot of them. We're way behind.
Oh dear, I've just been chattering and chattering and chattering. So what we're going to do is change the camera view. I'm going to keep coloring because I actually want to make progress on this. And Steve will ask me questions, and hopefully I can color and talk at the same time, and we're going to have a great time. So that's the plan.
Right. Polly says that she wants to start decorating her RV and studio for autumn.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Anne from A Colorful Life did join us.
Hi, Anne. Welcome.
We mentioned her coloring group, but her Facebook group.
Yes.
Again, but there's also the YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel is, I think, where she primarily does most of her stuff. But that's also a... I don't know actually if we put a link to the YouTube channel in there. We need to do that. I
forgot to put that. I put a link to her Facebook group so that everyone could get this coloring page. But I didn't put a link to her YouTube channel, which is A Colorful Life. So go check it out. She does like full non-sped up coloring pages. So if you want to watch someone real-time color, she does that on her channel, which is so cool.
We have Lorna and Bobby both joining us from Australia.
Awesome.
Mentioned it's springtime in Australia.
That's right. You guys are like total opposite. But you can apply the same color theory ideas to spring. You would just rotate your wheel a couple times and bring up spring colors in your windows instead of autumn colors.
Michelle asked if I'm growing a beard. No, I just haven't shaved in a couple days. And Chai says if you ever get a chance to visit Gatlinburg, go to Cades Cove. Absolutely breathtaking.
Where's that at? Like, what state is that?
Oh, you'll have to tell us there. I think it's when we were showing those pictures, they were talking about how stunning and beautiful it is.
That's
Kind
just
of
the
reminds me
beginning.
of West Virginia in autumn, breathtaking.
That's just the beginning. That was just the scrub oak. Wait till the Quakies change.
Oh yeah,
And that's like even Butterfield Canyon is one of our more less exciting canyons.
Yeah, it's kind of a.
It's we have two sets of mountains around us in this valley. We have the Ochre Mountains and the Wasatch Mountains. The Ochre Mountains are that way, and the Wasatch Mountains are that way to my studio. Ochre Mountains are like that tall. The Wasatch Mountains are like that tall. And when the Wasatch Mountains are like granite, made of granite. And they are stunning. So maybe what we need to do is when those leaves change, we'll take our GoPro camera. Steve just got a GoPro a couple months ago. So we can put a dash cam on and we'll take you up there. Now that is Utah mountains. When we had the Olympics here, that's where the Olympics were. All the ski jumps and everything, that was up those mountains. Butterfield Canyon was up the Ochre Mountains, and so that's like a woo kind of mountain. The Wasatch Mountains are like whoa kind of mountains. Those are like epic, dream, beautiful mountains. Get out of the smoke kind of mountains. They are amazing. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by mountains.
Okay.
Back to coloring. I said I was going to talk and color at the same time.
Crystal asked, Jennifer, I was wondering, can I use glycerin on colored pencils to blend?
Yes. It's
Listen.
not great. I've tried, and it's sort of... Glycerin is sort of works better with anything that has water. And color pencils are a wax petroleum-based product. Whether it's oil or wax-based, it's all petroleum, right? So glycerin plays better with water-based type things in my in my experience. Now I've tested that and I've gotten it to blend, but it doesn't blend beautifully like you're hoping. Like when you blend in, you go like, "Whoa, it's a miracle." It's not like that kind of experience. So try, because you never know what you're going to find out. And I was the first one that tried glycerin with gel pens. No one had ever tried that before, and it worked like, whoa, it's a miracle. So that's why I always tell you guys to try, because you might come across something that no one has ever really given a fair shake and discover something. It's very possible. I did it. I came across something no one had really ever tried. It was so exciting.
Ollie mentioned the Smoky Mountains there in Tennessee. I'd love to go see those. Yeah, they look beautiful.
And I would like to know from you guys someday when we're ready to travel out that way. I want to know the best time of year to come to see the changing of the leaves, so that we're there at the right time.
I was in Missouri during the fall, and that was amazing.
Ugh.
By the Lake of the Ozarks.
You're so lucky that you've traveled those places, Steve. I'm so jealous. I'm just throwing in kind of random tones of orange. I'm following that rule on here. We are working with 2 sets of vibrant colors, so it's vital to choose one color to be your dominant or mother color. So in each of these leaves, I'm following that rule. The dominant mother color is our oranges, our orange story. And then I'm using green as our little pop of color to give it a little interest. So when you're looking at these leaves, your eye is seeing mainly the oranges, and then ever so often there's this interesting, oh, what's going on in this leaf? And that helps the eye relax and not be so chaotic in the coloring page. And then ever so often there's this interesting thing going on. That's the color theory idea I'm following here as I'm coloring our leaves.
Sharon the colorist says hi from Tasmania.
Tasmania? That's awesome. Hello.
And then Chai, or maybe Shay, You can correct me. I won't feel sad about that. I won't be offended. It says jury duty, so fun.
Yeah.
Been there. My court didn't allow us to have any bags.
Oh.
So you may, yeah. Rebecca says, so good to be able to get my coloring bliss fix. We've been on a 4,900-mile journey for 5 weeks visiting family. Missed you.
Oh, welcome. I wonder where you went.
Now, Christine says, I brought my coloring supplies to jury duty.
Last time I went, and this was, I don't know, years ago, I remember being able to take in a bag. All they said was no food. I remember they said that in the details. So.
Yeah. Carolyn says in Georgia she wasn't able to bring a bag.
Everybody's giving me jury duty tips now.
We'll see.
I'm trying to create some sort of shadow because this leaf really is laying on top of this other leaf. So I'm using my 2 darkest tones here to try to create a bit of a shadow, but I don't want too much dark. I'm reserving my darkest tones for the acorns.
Oh, and Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, and Smoky Mountains is what she's talking about.
Man, I just want to travel so bad. I have the itch so bad.
Lorna says, oh, it just bumped on me. Let's see. That she's filling her bag with art supplies and everything you talk about when for her trip to Calgary next year.
Awesome. To Calgary?
Yep.
That's where I was born. Okay, there. Now we're I built that shadow, and like I said, I want to save those dark, more brown, orangey tones for my acorns. So I am using the brightest, one of the brightest of the orange tones to wash over the brown to bring that bright orange leafy tone back, but keeping that nice shadow that I built. I love alcohol markers.
Oh, Pokey Joe says, greetings from the Missouri Ozarks. Yes.
Is that
Like I
where
said,
you were?
Yeah, it was just so gorgeous.
Have the leaves changed there yet? Any sign of leaf change? Like I said, I was so surprised that we had a leaf change here. And that's why we're doing this today. You should show them again, the picture, Steve, and why we picked the color store we did. I wanted to mention that. So as soon as you're caught up with the comments, I'm going to put kind of a strange blob of green into this leaf, into this area. And then we're going to tone it down again with the orange. So don't be shocked as you see this green appear. It's going to look really weird and wrong for a minute. I'm going to kind of scratch it in on purpose, messy on purpose here. I'm leaving little gaps of white on purpose so that the orange has a place to flow in. Alcohol markers. I want it to look like this leaf is in the middle of changing.
Of course, Tammy Sifford, mentioned she's right below the Olympia mountains there.
Yes, she's in
Olympic. But anyway, yeah, there, and those look amazing.
Yes.
We're going to be kind of close to you, Tammy, in October.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to, I don't know how far away down the coast. We're going to be south of Portland, though. Anyway, we'll have to talk to you about that.
Okay, now I'm coming in with, again, that bright orange. This is, Marigold is the name of this one. Y416 if you have the Cali Arts. Okay.
And Libby's currently in the San Juan Mountains in southwest Colorado.
Colorado, now they have good mountains too.
Okay, Shy, that's how I say it. Thank you, Shy. Oh yeah, she's at 9,300 feet elevation, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we used this orange to help that green get, I guess desaturated is right. Kind of bringing the two colors together. I'm trying to think of the right words. I always think of the right words later when I'm rewatching the episodes to see what I could have done better for you guys. I'm always like, Jennifer, why didn't you use this word? So I'll think of it later when I rewatch this. Now I'm bringing in Y623, which is Potato Brown. I love that name. To help blend in those two colors some more. Make it feel a little bit more natural. Coloring autumn leaves is so fun because it's so, whatever. An autumn leaf looks so random anyway. As soon as Steve is done reading, he's going to put up my
there's
picture.
a conversation between Anne and Tammy wondering about the free coloring page. Want to show the free one again just so Tammy
I
sees?
do, but I want you to show them my leaf first.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been talking about my
I'm
crazy
trying to catch
coloring
up
here, and I want to prove that leaves look as crazy as this. Tammy and you guys just cut it out.
No, which one are you wanting to see?
Show them the color. That one.
Okay. So you want them to see the crazy leaf.
That's my crazy leaf that I found. And that's kind of what I'm going for on these leaves, is just like having fun, throwing in different colors. This little image you can get off our website if you'd like to go see it and use those colors. Sorry. Let's see, it's on coloringbliss.com under tools, I believe.
Yeah, they're under nature-inspired color palettes.
Yeah. So that was an image that I found that I just think is awesome and shows you how amazing just one little leaf can be. So as you're coloring these leaves, just relax. Don't be so worried about the leaf having the correct gradient of color or the right shadow here and the highlight there. Just have fun with your leaves and try throwing green in here or darker red there and maybe some purple there, and have fun. Try different things. And then as the leaves, hopefully, some of you, from what we were learning, your leaves never do change in your area. But if the leaves in your area do happen to change, go outside and look at the way the leaves change. Every tree, the leaves do different things, and it's so inspiring. So I really encourage you to do that. Now, you guys were discussing the page.
Okay, so that's the free coloring page.
This is the one that we've made available that's usually just part of the premium library, and we're making available for the week as a limited time free download for all my free members. So come on over to Coloring Bliss. To become a free member is super easy. I think it just takes using your email address, and we protect your email address. I don't share it with anyone. It goes no further than coloringbliss.com. So don't be afraid of that. Come on in, become a free member, and every week we're trying to offer you a limited time coloring page. If you enjoy that, let me know. Comment below. Hit that like button if you like us doing that. It does take Steve a little extra work every week to make a new page available to my free members. So if you're a free member and you like us doing that, let us know so I can have Steve keep doing that for you guys. Also, we have another free page that you can go get over with A Colorful Life, and this is the one we're going to be coloring next week, barring that I don't get called up for jury duty. But we will be coloring it next week or whenever I get done with jury duty. We'll let you know. Is this one here with A Colorful Life as a collaboration with Anne and her fruit bats, is what she calls herself and her community, her coloring community. I believe Anne is here, so shout out to Anne and her awesome coloring community. So this one's available if you go and download it. Right now it's available only through Anne's Facebook group. There's a link to that in the post. No, not the post, in the video details. All this terminology. Anyway, so follow that, become a member of her group, and you can download this and have it ready for next week. And then I think next week we'll probably make this available off our website too, so you can get it either way. Those are the free ones. This one is available now to my premium members. We already talked about that at the opening of this video, how you can get this one. So let's get back to coloring. Yeah.
Bev says, thank you for the wonderful custom coloring book I got for my husband who had a stroke. He's improving through coloring.
Oh, that's amazing. I think that is amazing. First of all, thank you for the order. And secondly, what a great idea to use that as a way to help him recover. And I sure hope you were able to find enough coloring pages that were masculine enough for him. Steve, she was saying she bought it for her husband, and I don't have very many masculine coloring pages, so I hope you found enough masculine enough.
Yeah.
Do you think she found enough masculine pages?
Sounds like she did.
I need to draw more masculine pages, like a rock.
Because that's what we want. That's like that manly coloring page you did for Father's Day. That was the joke about that. If you haven't seen that one, yes.
Yeah, I did that manly coloring page with a pipe on it. I'm just not very inspired by manly things. I'm a girl.
That's okay. You can be inspired by whatever you want to be inspired by.
Yeah, except that when you wanted to color and you were like thumbing through all the pages and you're like, there's like nothing here for me.
It inspires me.
Yeah.
No, there were a few.
You found some.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you could build could you build a 60-page, can we make 60-page coloring books? Could you build a 60-page coloring book out of my art that all 60 pages you would be like, yes, I want to color all those?
I don't know that I could do that.
Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your honesty, Steve. Oh, well. That's just the way the old, maybe I need to broaden my horizon. Okay, we've got one more leaf to color. Kind of want to balance. I like how, let me zoom out just a tiny bit. Now, as I'm looking at something like this, I'll give you a little what I'm picturing here. We've got these two leaves that have strong green sections. These two leaves are kind of the same tone, and then I love that this leaf has sort of a deeper reddish tone to it. So I'm going to try to balance that feeling over here, and that will give some good balance to the overall, what's the word? Composition. Oh, yes, I thought of the word. The composition. So let's go in on this leaf here with that feeling in mind. I'm going to try to zoom back down so you guys can see as I color up the final leaf, and then we'll go in and start adding in remember, we're using orange as our mother color, so we're going to get to go in with some of our other colors on our scheme here and get our pops of color. Go for the vibrant pop of color, use it sparingly to direct the eye. That's the next step.
Okay.
Ooh, so much fun.
Let's see.
I think what I'll do, I'll grab this one here.
Angela was asking why we split between Facebook and YouTube. Looks like Tammy kind of answered it, that we have fans on both social media, both platforms, and so yeah, that's basically it. We have some people, like to stick to just one platform, and so we were finding that we started out doing just Facebook Live, but we were missing quite a few people on YouTube, and so we decided, let's just do both, and if you like to use both, then great.
And it seems like, didn't Facebook start doing better live software first? Something like that.
I think so, or at least it was easier at first or something.
For us.
Yeah, for us. And then YouTube came out with they kind of, kept improving and simplifying going live with them. But yeah.
Yeah, so there was kind of like a software journey for us as well, involved in all of that. For this leaf, I'm going to wash the whole leaf with one color first. I'm showing you that there's really, there's not too many real rules with alcohol marker coloring, especially when you're doing something so organic as an autumn leaf, where we have crazy color tones happening in one leaf. We can get away with some pretty crazy coloring we can break some rules as far as when we come in with what colors and how we do it.
By the way, Tweety mentioned that you can check the Weather Channel for the best time when leaves are changing in your area.
What?
Yeah, so we need to go look at that.
You just rocked my world, Tweety. Seriously, that is so awesome, because I've been wondering, like, when my favorite trees are the Quakies, the Quaking Aspen, and I want to know when they're going to change up the Wasatch Mountains.
Yeah, it seems like we're always just a little late. Like we wait
We
until
always
the
miss it.
first or second weekend in October.
And
a lot
they're
of times it's
starting
too
to
late.
look a little crusty and not so vibrant yellow. And
Yeah, we want to see them. Amy said you could draw dragons. Speaking of
yeah.
more masculine.
Oh, speaking of that, I was supposed to do a shout out, Steve.
That's right.
What was her name? Uh-oh, I texted it to you.
I'll go look it up.
Steve's going to look it up. I have a very cool shout out to do. So I was, what day was this, Steve?
I can't remember.
I texted it to you. Maybe you can see the day. Okay, back to this bright yellow now to help blend in these veins I did. I'm trying to kind of give the same look as this other leaf.
Yeah, it was Brenda.
Brenda. And did you see which day I texted that to you?
It was on the 1st of September.
So, which day is that? Can you look on the calendar? I've lost track of time, people.
So that was last Saturday.
So Saturday. Oh yeah, I remember now. It was Saturday. We decided to go down to an area called Sugar House here in the Salt Lake Valley to go visit. My son does jewelry. He's learning to make jewelry in a really cool studio. He's taking a really cool, like, a craftsman 6-month learning course on how to make jewelry and do a jewelry business. And so we wanted to go down and visit his studio, see what he's been learning, and it just so happens that that studio is like
a block away
from Blick Art Studio. So, I mean Blick, the Blick Art Store. So, you know, you gotta go to Blick. You can't go that close to Blick and not go into Blick. So while I was in Blick, I was in the line getting ready to check out, and Brenda, standing in front of me, stops and says, have I seen you before? Do I know who you are? And I was like, I'd never seen her before. And she goes, you're Jennifer Stay. And this never happens to me. And I was just so tickled that a fan recognized me. She says, you're Jennifer Stay from Coloring Bliss. And I was just so honored and humbled. She said she had downloaded all my coloring pages. She knew who I was. I was honored that she knew my name. And I wasn't too surprised that we would have met in Blick, because I tell you guys that's my favorite store and I tell you to go there all the time. But I was just so honored that she knew my name, knew who I was, recognized me. I didn't have my makeup on. I was wearing kind of grungy Saturday clothes. I was tired, and anyway, I was just honored. I made my day. So Brenda, hi. I was honored to meet you, and it was so cool to see a fan in real life. So that was so special and cool, and it made me want to go out. Like I said, I want to travel. I want to go out into the world and have meetups where I can meet you guys, and we can do like where we can get together and color in real life together. And I would love to sit around a table together and share art supplies and share stories and color together for an hour or two. Wouldn't that be so fun? Oh, I would just love that. So, anyway.
Yeah, those who are local to us, we need to just figure that out.
We just need to do that.
So
here
maybe,
locally.
I know we've been talking about it for a while. We've even researched places to do it and all that.
Yeah,
So
I think
maybe
we talked about that recently.
If you're local, send me an email, support@coloringbliss.com.
Yeah.
And if you have some ideas of maybe a place to go that we're not thinking of, or that we could kind of do that type of thing, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'd love to try it.
Yeah, let's do it like within the next month or two.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to coloring.
Okay.
That was a long story. But anyway.
Yes. Dragons.
Back to dragons.
Back to dragons.
Okay, that's my last leaf. I think it turned out so pretty.
Mountains and deer are masculine. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Woodland creatures.
Yeah. And of course, like Anne pointed out, whimsical can be for males and females, and there are plenty of gender neutral pages you have. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ryland's jewelry, Roberta says, Jen and Steve, I got my ring and pendant today. Ryland is truly talented. Though he did not inherit Jen's sketching skills, he did inherit both of your creativity.
This is true. He has horrible penmanship, and he hasn't learned to sketch yet. He will. You know he will, Roberta, because you can't be in this business without learning to sketch. But thank you, Roberta, for supporting him. I think you were one of his very first official non-family customers. So thank you for supporting him, and it's awesome to see him feeling like, wow, I can do this. I can make a business of this. So thank you. But yeah, he can't sketch yet. I keep telling him, you just need to practice. I did it. I just decided one day to do it, to learn it, make myself do it, and it worked. You can do it. Anybody can learn to draw. I am total evidence of that. Anybody can learn to draw. If I can do it, absolutely anyone can do it. It's just a matter of deciding you want to do it, liking it enough to stick with it, despite it being hard. It's hard. Drawing is hard. That's why not many people do it.
Let's see. Elf Brandy Jones says, you make a great team. Thank you for all your time and efforts to teach us. I love that weird leaf you're coloring.
They are weird and awesome, aren't they? They're just like that leaf I showed you the picture of. That's what I'm liking about it, is it's just so real to what I would see in my very own yard.
Amy, speaking of coloring pages that would suit me, Amy says you need to do a gnome with a camera, some kind of photography related.
That's a great idea. I've decided to wash this whole acorn with a deeper brown and go a little bit more to the brown side here on the cap. It was looking a little too... It wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So that's the joy of alcohol markers, is you can start light, and if you're not liking what's going on, you can always go darker. That sound you're hearing is our garage door. Like we've said before, the art studio is right above the garage door. Okay, now I'm coming back in with that orange again, because I want to make sure this stays with an orange feeling, because we're following the rule to keep the dominant or mother color. So even the browns I picked have more of an orange undertone. I wish these had a brush tip. I'm trying to get that flick that you would get with a brush tip with my chisel tip. Trying. There, that looks better. I like that better. I like that. Okay, let's do...
Yeah, last how many years we've been married?
We will be married 25 years in February. 25 years, Steve.
Yeah.
We're so old.
There we go again. Every week you talk about how old.
Do I?
You're not old.
Do I say it every week?
Yeah. Because every week Polly has to correct you. Jennifer, you're not old.
I feel old. Okay, I'll stop talking about it, Polly. Sorry. I do. I feel old. I admit it. I feel old.
Let's see. Tammy says, Jen, wait till you see the evergreens.
I can't wait.
And then we've had Polly and Tammy and others asking about Matthew, saying we need to have him back.
I agree. He hasn't posted anything on his channel since he got all of you to subscribe. I need to call him up and say.
Yeah, I know his mom was going to encourage him to make another video. Tammy says, if we come up there, we need to go beach glass hunting for Ryland's jewelry and get him real beach glass.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
There's an area around here that my family has been going to since I was probably 10. And we get all kinds of neat stones. The boys have been collecting stones there since, because we've been taking them there since they were born. And, you know, little boys and their rocks, they have to collect rocks. At least my boys did. You guys can tell me if your boys did the same thing. But my boys, they collect rocks everywhere they went. Every time you get out of the car, they were collecting rocks. So I have like every closet that my two boys have ever had, every bucket in our garage, everywhere you look, there are stashes of just random rocks. Now that Rylan is into jewelry, he knows what these rocks are and which ones are good and which ones bad, and he's actually going through all these random stashes of rock, and he's like, this is actually something cool, and he can turn them into things now. And he's like, where did we get this? And I'm all, well, this is, you know, where we've been vacationing our whole life. And so now he's like, Mom, we need to go back there before summer's over and get us more of this, because I can turn this into really cool jewelry. And well, who knew all those years of, all right, yes, you can bring home more rocks, would turn into a kid who knows how to make a living off of boxes and boxes and bags and bags and buckets of rock.
There are a lot of comments today, and I'm sorry, everybody. I'm so far behind on them. So I may not get to. I usually try to at least, you know, touch on everybody's comment, but I don't know if that's going to happen today. It's awesome. Lots of comments. Just
That's
hard
awesome.
to keep up with.
Thank you guys. What's cool about YouTube now, though, is that they do save all the comments. Did you know that, Steve?
Yeah.
So when I go back and rewatch this, which I do, I always rewatch the live events, I will see the comments. So don't be worried about that. I will rewatch every event to see what I can do better for you guys and to read all the comments. So I'll see your comments.
A few people asked if you brought $60 to Blick, you know.
Oh, because that's what Matthew said.
Yeah, because you have to have $60.
I can't even remember what I bought. Oh, I remember
You only
now.
did one thing, right?
No, that was with Matthew. But on Saturday when we met Brenda,
Yeah.
I bought
Oh, that's right.
some leather because I'm going to make a cool sketchbook, a traveler's notebook sketchbook for Inktober, because I'm going to be doing Inktober again. I'm so excited. And then I also bought the secret weapon for watercolor that I posted on Instagram and Facebook that I'm not going to tell you, and neither is Steve. Shh.
I'm going to tell you, right?
No.
Just kidding, I'm not.
You're such
I'm
a
not
secret
gonna
giver awayer. Anyway, that new thing. Remember last time when we were doing watercolor and I was like, Utah is so dry. All my watercolor dries. Blah, blah. I cannot
figured it
wait.
out.
I cannot wait. So I need to practice some more. And we have this collaboration with A Colorful Life and Potential Jury Duty. And another secret thing coming up that we're about to release. We're like this close, almost ready to release a new product for you guys. So we have all this to do, and then I can tell you my secret new product that I discovered.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was buying at Blick. And
That's
it didn't
right.
cost me $60.
Nope.
You owe me money.
That's right.
Okay, back to coloring.
Anytime you don't spend 60, I owe you the difference.
That's the way it works. Okay, I do have one more acorn to color, but I want to get my pops of color. We haven't even touched the red. So we're going to go in with red, and I think I'm going to start with, look at me just throwing markers around. I just realized what time it is, and I want to at least get some of our pops of color in here and finish up our color story here with my the color scheme that we've talked about, and just show you how this is going to come together.
Amy had a good idea. She said we could meet at Brighton at the picnic tables.
At Brighton?
Yeah, up at like Brighton Ski Resort.
Oh, I thought she meant Brighton High School, where I went to high school. I was like, why would you want to meet at...
No, the ski resort, and then we'd see all the leaves too, which I think it was art by Dana. Christina had mentioned the second week in September. It's probably the best time for the leaves.
That's
usually.
like right away.
Yeah, I know it's always earlier than what we think it is.
Yeah,
that's why we miss it.
That's why when we were up in Butterfield Canyon, and I was shocked that those leaves were changing, and I think it's because it happens so early up in the canyons. Because we are at a higher elevation than what I give credit for. And whenever we go up that high, that's when I remember, holy cow, we really are at a high elevation. I forget just how high we are around here. Okay, I'm going in with pops of red on these little berries.
Well, that's fun. Kim says a group of colorists are starting to plan an event next year around Columbus Day weekend in her area.
Cool. I heard about an art retreat that some artists go to. I think, was it in Italy? Is that where I told you they are doing it?
Oh, really?
And the artists all go to this retreat and they teach each other. So they each teach like a workshop. So if you're into watercolor, you would teach a watercolor workshop. And so while you're there, you get to learn from each other. I was like, how do I get on that list? I want to go to that. Okay, now we'll go in. Oh, see, caps are starting to fly because I'm getting in a hurry now. Okay, we're hurrying. Okay, I'm going to do a little shadow on the back side of each of these berries. Just kind of building up. I don't know if you guys have seen over on one of my favorite YouTubers is The Frugal Crafter, and she recently did some coloring tips with alcohol markers. So if you want even more coloring tips with alcohol markers, she did I think a pretty good job. Not one of my most favorite, but pretty good, I thought. Okay, now I'm taking my lightest color and I'm going to do some nice squeakiness. So if you want to hit mute, then hit mute. And I'll wave my hands like this when I'm done. Poor Steve is stuck listening to it. But he's reading your comments, so he doesn't care.
It's a hard sound.
Look how pretty, though, these berries are turning out. And it's because we're not using a brush tip, and I'm pushing pretty hard here. And I can push hard because we're using a bullet tip. If I was using a brush tip, I would be so much more light-handed. But this is just bringing together all 3 layers of ink to give a nice blend. Okay, if you hit mute, I'm done. There, look how pretty that pop of color turned out. Okay, that's what this color theory is talking about, using your mother color. So lots of oranges, very calm tones. Then we've got a little pops of green, a nice big pop of the red. And now we get to decide where we want the blue. And I'm thinking the blue would be Originally I was thinking the whole background, but now I'm thinking just the frame would be really pretty. So I think that's what we're going to do, and we're already way over time. But if you guys don't mind, I want to keep going for a minute more to get at least the whole color story down for you. Changed my mind. We're going in with the lightest blue first. Okay, around the little acorn stem. Good. Oh, such a nice juicy marker. I love a juicy marker. Will you zoom out just a little bit, Steve? We're going to be covering large zones here. And I think that ribbon would be pretty done in green. What do you guys think? What color should I do the ribbon? I want this blue to be like the sky blue. In that very first when I showed you the picture of the mountainside that we saw, that was our inspiration, right? We're going off of what Mother Nature does, and then that's how we picked our color scheme.
Did we show? Yeah, we showed that one, right?
Yeah, you could show it again.
So that's the photo.
So you can see the blue, and that's what I'm going for here. Now, I could have done blue in the full background, but I kind of want to, I'm thinking about leaving it either white in the background or potentially coloring it a really light orange. We'll see. Sticking with the mother color theory. Okay, we've got that. Now we're going to keep on going here. I'm not worrying so much about the streaks because we're going to come in with a darker blue here. This is just sort of priming the paper. Oh, went outside the lines.
Kara Lee said you need the green ribbon to bring more green in.
Yeah. And I think the green, because we're using the green as a pop of color, and it will tie in with the green of the that we put into the leaves.
Dana says, I bought an IKEA desk and Spectrum Noir marker trays. I love them. Thank you for that great idea. Have you tried putting any colored pencils in them?
Yes. Let's see. Way up here on this top shelf, I have 3 of the Spectrum Noir trays where I keep a small stash of Faber-Castell polychromos, a black and white Prismacolor, and then these are just some odd pencils that I've picked up. You know, like I recommend just buying 2 or 3 of a brand that you want to try. That's what these are right here. So yeah, that's what that shelf here is. You can also put gel pens in them. That's what this is right here. So yeah, works good. That's awesome. I'm glad that that worked for you. I can't believe how much research I did, desperately trying to find something that would work for me and wasn't so expensive. I mean, if you want to spend thousands of dollars, there's always something even more perfect and even more gorgeous, you know.
Bev asked if you ever tape off an area like the border to keep you in the lines.
With watercolor, yes. But I haven't with marker. It's actually a really good idea. Especially if I was having a really shaky hand day. That's a really good idea.
Roberta says, I Gorilla Glued the Spectrum Noir marker trays together to make them more sturdy.
Great idea.
And guess what?
What?
You're going to be very jealous when I tell you this.
No, what?
So David Tennant, I guess, just got to Salt Lake. And Amy gets to meet him on Friday. It's her photo on Friday.
I am very jealous. We were driving, where were we? It was when we were driving to Sugar House.
Yeah.
And the big billboard came up with David Tennant's
like,
face, and I was
"Oh."
like, what? David Tennant's kind of Salt Lake? So yeah, I'm very jealous. So say hi to David Tennant for me.
Tell Dave hi for
Tell
us.
Dave hi and shake his hand for me. Tell him Jennifer Stay says hi. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow. That's really cool. I'm really being sloppy here, but that's okay. Because we're just trying to get some color down for you guys to see like the whole story here. Okay, then we'll go in with darker. That was like my lightest blue, Steve. Looks so pretty. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the darker blue. Is this the darkest blue? Why am I feeling like I've got markers missing? I've got... Why do I... Oh, yeah, there's one that rolled far away.
Bev said shaky hands. That's why I asked about the taping.
Yeah.
I have fibromyalgia, and some days are difficult to keep the hands from shaking.
That's a great idea to do the taping. And yes, I relate to the shaking hands. The other thing I've shaking all the time lately is my eyes.
Susan mentioned when she bullet journals, she uses washi tape to mask off parts before she colors.
Good idea. Washi tape is so awesome. I was trying to draw this loop in this L today, and I could not get this L. I was like, shake, shake, and I was like, ah, erase, shake, shake. And what is sad about that is the app I use to draw is called Procreate. And you can set things on the brushes you use because it's all digital. You can tell the brush to smooth your stroke. So it will take away a lot of your jitters and your shakes. So I'm like, oh man, I must have that option turned off on this brush. That must be the problem, right? So I go into the options of the brush. Oh no, that option was set to max. It was all me. It was all me. So with that option set at max, I was still shake on that line. I was so sad. It was just me and my shaky hand and whatever pain was causing the shaky L. But I eventually got it. See how pretty my L is? I eventually got the straight line. I think I had to redo it like a dozen times, but I got it.
Well, Harry Potter says, I just joined and your art is so nice.
Oh, well, thank you, Harry Potter. Will you do magic for
name.
us?
Yep, that's a fun name.
What was the new name I was saying I should change my name to when we were driving up that canyon?
I don't know if you want to tell this story.
They want to hear it.
Oh.
Oh yeah, carnivorous
Chipmunk. Yeah.
she chipmunk.
We saw, because when we're driving, we see these chipmunks out in the road. And we're like, oh, cute. And then they run away, and we see that they were eating another dead chipmunk
in the middle of.
Like, oh, great, carnivorous chipmunks.
Well, that should be my new name for my
gaming
name for my iPad games is the carnivorous she chipmunk. Oh dear.
Cute little chipmunks.
Arr, kill. Okay, now we're going to an even darker blue. I'm going to hold the pen this way to keep the darkest band really tight up against this border. And then we're going to blend it all out.
Oh, and Dana's also asking, how do you keep, excuse me, those wine holder containers there, the see-through ones, from sliding all over? She says she's had her gel pens fall entirely on the floor 10 times at least.
Oh. Yeah, Rose has almost knocked them over a couple times. Let me see how I've got them. So I've got the washi tape boxes pulled forward from the wall about 1.5 inches, and then the back feet are off the back. So the washi tape containers sort of wedge the back feet of those the bottle holders up against the wall. But yes, in fact, they need to be shifted this way a bit so they won't get knocked over.
Yeah, yours are kind of in a place where they couldn't really get bumped too much.
Yeah, so they're shoved up against the wall, and then the back feet are sort of pinned with the washi tape containers. But yeah, I think gluing them together might be a wise... Because if Rose knocked them that way, I don't know how we would... I think I'd have to have one of my boys get down underneath there and pull them out. With my heart condition, there's no way I could climb under there and like roll around on the floor and pick them all up. There's no way.
Yeah, they're grossed out by those cannibal chipmunks. Amy says you should make a Halloween chipmunk cannibal.
For a coloring page. Yeah. Inspired by our beautiful Canyon Drive cannibal chipmunks.
Yeah, that was disturbing.
Yeah, they were like right in the road. So here we are on this really windy, really narrow canyon road. And then these chipmunks are out in the middle of the road, and I'm like, move, move. What are they so interested in? And my son in the back is like, ew, are they eating the dead chipmunk? And I was like, oh, let's not think about it. And then we, of course, proceed to talk about it more and more. And now we're talking about it even more. Okay, blending time. Back to the medium.
Tiani says that would make a good movie title. Halloween cannibal chipmunk or chipmunk cannibal.
Oh, so funny. I didn't know chipmunks did that. Waste not, want not, Steve.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we'll stop talking about that.
We saw deer up that canyon, too.
Yeah.
A lot of deer. It's kind of a strange canyon because it's the majority of it is privately owned. So you can't camp on the valley side. And there's almost nowhere to get out. And I think that's one reason why the road is so narrow. There's just nowhere, no real good shoulders, nothing. It's such a strange, at least for Utah, it's strange. Maybe outside of Utah, it's not strange. So much of Utah, the wilds of Utah, are owned by the state or by the federal government. But this particular canyon is privately owned by Kennecott Land. They're the ones that own that giant mine that can be one of the only things that can be seen from space is that mine. Kennecott owns that entire, well, they own pretty much all of that mountain range. And so that's why that is such an odd canyon. Okay, I'm kind of digging that. Really pretty. Now, if it wasn't 820, I really want that green bow. Sorry, Steve.
Bev asked, what program do you use to do your drawing?
I use Procreate. Love, love Procreate. Especially their latest update. They have a new drawing tool in their latest update that is heaven. It's this drawing assist tool that allows you to like puts a guide down the middle of your drawing zone, and it lets you mirror what you're drawing. So for instance, when I was sketching these leaves out, I could draw a line down the middle, and then as I drew this half of the leaf, the other half would appear. So it would mirror it. And then that creates the sketch layer, and then I do the final inking layer, and as I ink it, I can add little variations and give it so that both sides look organic and natural. But building the leaf was twice as fast because it built both sides at the same time. So building the coloring pages is becoming easier for me because of tools like that Procreate gives me. So the sketching layer becomes easier, and then I can still add my organic touches on the inking layer. I don't know if that makes any sense. If you've done any kind of digital drawing, that makes sense to you.
Lindsay was asking if you're using the Apple Pencil.
Yes, love the Apple Pencil. I'm on the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, right?
Yep, 6, something like that, 12.9, 6, I can't remember.
Yeah, love the giant. We just need to do our review of it. Okay, I did the lightest green. Now we're going to do some shading real quick. And after I'm done with this bow, we're going to call it good. I want to keep coloring. I'm having so much fun. So I have a question. Do we still have someone here from Australia? Because I have a question. I was thinking about this today as I was drawing this page. And this is going to show you just how little...
No, Bobby was here. Maybe he's still here.
I have so very little knowledge of outside of my little Utah bubble. So my question is, maybe someone other than Australia can answer this. So I know that it's going into spring right now for this is, I don't even want to say this out loud, but I'm going to ask it and I'm going to sound so silly. So it's going into spring for you guys, but we are going into fall. But so it's the fall equinox for us, September 22nd. Do you guys call it the fall equinox, or do you guys call September 22nd the spring equinox? So you guys call September spring, but is it the fall equinox, or is it the spring equinox for you guys? So that's my question.
I guess it would be the spring equinox because they're going into spring, but yeah.
So on the other hemisphere, the equinoxes have different names at the same time, calendar time. That was my question. Do I sound totally illiterate and silly? I don't know. Yes, that's my question. Okay, someone from Australia, answer. If you don't answer now, I want someone to comment below on this video later, at a later time, and tell me, because I'm really curious. Do you call the September 22nd equinox the spring equinox if you live in Australia?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Very good
Okay,
question.
give me some knowledge. Educate me. Okay, a little more shading here with the darker green.
That's interesting. Morticia says, my hearing aid converts the sound from the pens different based on the color. That's so
No
weird.
way! You're hearing color differently.
Or at least the texture of the pens or something.
That's so cool. Okay, a little shading here, a little shading there. Has anybody answered my difficult question?
No, they're saying, others are saying, yeah, that's a legitimate question.
Okay, good. I didn't know if I was just sounding like, were you not listening in high school or something? I just really, as I was drawing this, I was like, well, I know for a fact that it's not fall in Australia right now. And then I was like, but the fall equinox, does that mean it's the spring equinox?
Ashley says the coloring is so pretty. Love the way it's looking.
Oh, thank you.
Rosemary says, hi Jen, your picture is so vibrant and beautiful.
Thank you. It is because we picked such a vibrant rectangle tetradic color scheme. That's why.
Ooh, you have Ercilia, who's from Brazil.
Does she know?
She says, yes, we call it spring equinox.
Okay.
Spring on September 23rd.
That's so interesting to me. Why is that so fascinating to me?
And Lana says, yes, everyone has a different equinox depending on their side of the hemisphere.
So interesting. Wow. That just kind of fascinates me. Is it just me, or is that fascinating? Does that fascinate you, Steve?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yep. Como vai você, Ercilia?
Whoa.
That's the only thing I know in Portuguese. Tudo bem.
Whoa. Okay, there's the bow. I feel better now having the bow on there. And there's the pop of red, which would follow along here. So the color story follows what we picked. You see the main color theme. I would do more of the flooding of the orange will happen as I color. There's going to be the acorn. I could do hints of the orangey tones coming in the background, and probably orange tones on the word fall, right? And then we have because we picked that as our mother color, right? And then we used all of the other 3 colors as our pops of color. So the orange carries the eye, gives your eye a calm place to rest, and then you have your pops of color to carry your eye and give your eye interest and excitement. That's how you use a color scheme, how you take what the color scheme gives you and translate it into a coloring page that is pleasing to the eye and translates into something pretty when it's done. Does that make sense?
Inspired by
that. You can see the same idea, only in that one I would say green was probably the mother color, don't you think?
Yeah. Yep.
So I went with orange. I went with orange as my mother color because I'm so excited for fall. So now you can kind of see how you can take, your color, pick a color scheme, and then take your mother color and translate it into a piece of art. Or you can be like a 5-year-old kid, sit in front of a bucket of colors and just pick what's pretty to you and start coloring. Both methods are totally right, totally wonderful, and whatever gives you joy and bliss is what you should do. Yep. There is no wrong.
They're looking forward to seeing the finished page when you're done. So.
Yeah, hopefully I'll do it. I'm going to leave everything just like this. I love my art studio, and that I can leave everything out and not worry about dogs getting into it, or cats, or carnivorous chipmunks getting into it. It's all safe sitting right here, and I can come back to it tomorrow. I'm going to go have a little dinner. I still haven't had dinner. But I had so much fun. I'm looking forward to next week. We're going to be doing that coloring with A Colorful Life, unless I get called up for jury duty. If I get called up for jury duty, we will let you know here on the channel if there's a change. So look for that. Make sure you've hit subscribed. Make sure you hit like. Comment below if you've enjoyed this, and share it out with someone else who you think might like to get inspired by a little color theory and some fun color time. Thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure you go watch the Facebook first hour, where I really break down exactly why I pick what colors I pick. I talk about my love of tertiary colors and Steve's love of more of a primary color palette, and how that plays into all your color selections. We talked a lot about color theory in the first hour, so if you missed that, go check that out over on Facebook. Thanks again for watching. I really had a great time. I feel so much better and blissful, so thanks for that. And I hope you have a wonderful, colorful, blissful time, whether it's spring or fall in your neck of the woods. So have a great day, you guys. Bye-bye.
Good night.